Hello, my name is Jason Andrews, and from 2003 until 2009, I was head of the cleaning team for Channel 4's How Clean Is Your House? Now, this was a TV show that was presented by Kim Woodburn and Aggie McKenzie, and as you might be aware, it's been all over the news. Kim Woodburn sadly passed away this week, and my condolences go out to her friends and her family. And I can categorically confirm that Kim Woodburn did not bully, harass, or say anything detrimental or performed any sort of incident that was challenging or otherwise to any member of the cleaning team. We all worked well with her. She was well respected. She was fun. She was friendly. She was generous. She was kind, and she was definitely outspoken. But when it came to that environment and towards the cleaning team, it was a dream to work with her and around her, and it was a real experience. And she appreciated what we did because she was been a cleaner. She had been a cleaner herself. She knew how difficult it was and how challenging it was to actually get a house to look as good as it did from what we had to work with. You know, when you think about all the smells, all the grime, all the bacteria, all the mold, all the hair, all the food and the flies and the maggots and everything else that went with filming that TV show. We were really hands-on in it as part of the cleaning team, and we really took a lot of pride in the way that those houses turned out. And we feel really proud to be part of that team and to have worked with that show and to have worked with Kim and Aggie. And it's yeah, it's sad that she's died, and it's brought back a lot of memories of working with and around her during that time period. You know, it was an experience. It was crazy. It was fun. It was manic, and filming was always January to July. I remember that much. It was always January to July, and then it would always go out on TV, you know, in the summer. And it was done each house was done over a period of 2 weeks. So the first week was always the planning week. This is where we're not at the houses. This is where each different part of that show did their planning. So with Kim and Aggie, it would be the tips and the production and the producers to work with them around what tips were they going to do, where were they going to be in the houses. From my perspective, I was sent pictures and photographs of and videos on VHS, that's how long ago it was, of what those dirty houses look like, so that myself and the rest of the cleaning team can start to plan what materials were needed, what products, how many cleaners were needed, how long it might take a cleaner to clean a particular area, such as the kitchen, the oven, the bathroom. You know, it was it was a real challenge, you know, and it was really great to be part of that show, and they should bring it back. They should bring something like that back. But one thing that always amazed me with that show was that everyone who I knew that watched it seemed to be really fascinated around how it went from so dirty to so clean, and that show never included the cleaners as part of that journey to go from dirty to clean. They never talked to us around what was the surprises that we saw at those properties. You know, what was the challenging parts of cleaning that house. There are so many things that you didn't see on camera. There are so many things people keep in their drawers under their beds that go moldy and rotten, and it was wild, and you wouldn't believe the things I've seen, smelt, looked at. Nothing shocks me anymore. Nothing shocks any of us who were part of that TV show, and it's mad. The whole lot of it was mad. And it's a shame that the cleaning journey wasn't included more, but I guess the emphasis of that show was always around the presenters and the tips. Cleaning in the background was just, it was more like a gift to the homeowner or the occupant for having them in their house. Like, we've done our tips and here you go, here's a clean house. And hopefully that motivates you to go on and stay clean and keep the house clean and tidy. But more times than not, it never did, you know. You had the green hat, we had the green coat days, you know, those days where you'd spend half the week decluttering the house. You would take everything outside, just get it out so that you've got a bare bones state to work with for when it was your cleaning day. And those were the white coats day, where you'd seen the cleaners going in with the white coats. So if you saw the people with the green coats and the white coats, it's the same people. It's just two different types of work on different days. Green coat, declutter; white coat, get it spotless. And then they'd add a couple of throws, cushions and plants just to jazz it up a little bit for the big reveal at the end. And another question I'm always asked, which is, I'm not surprised since Kim went in the jungle, was, so Did they really hate each other? Did they really not get on? What did you see? What did you interpret from their relationship? And again, all I can say is that from 2003 up to at least 2008, I saw no tension between them. It was a normal working relationship with two colleagues. They're not related, they're not family members, they are colleagues doing a job together, doing it to schedule, doing it for the show, doing it for the viewers. And then once that's over, they've both got their own separate individual lives with their own friends, their own families. They're not part of each other's lives, never were. And on set, they were always really well respectful for each other. They always, chatted. They always spoke to me. They always spoke to the members of the cleaning team. It just seemed a normal working day, even though it was a TV show and it's not that normal, but it was normal for the environment we were in. But 2008, I did hear of a massive fallout at the Panto in 2008, and the only reason I heard about that was because my mum and sister were also part of the cleaning team as well, and they were at that Panto, so they were there when it happened. So I know what they fell out about. I know what the falling out was about. And all I'm going to say on the matter is, for anyone who asks me, and everything I've always said, and I've always projected this, is that you've got two people who were chalk and cheese, working together in a close-knit environment for 6 months of the year. After so many years, it's going to reach a boiling point, isn't it? It's like any of us. We've got a job, we've got people we get on with, people we don't get on with so much. But when you're on top of each other for 6 months in that environment, and you really are just two different personality types, at some point it's going to crack. And I think that's what happened. But we got another series in 2009. I was also part of that series. And it's a shame Channel 4 didn't renew it for another, because I would have liked a 2010 year filming with it, because unfortunately the cleaning team had cleared their schedules from January to June in 2010 when the news came in that production had ended, and it's a shame. But all I'm going to say, to reiterate again once more, is Kim was a joy to work with. She was a pleasure to be around. She was generous, friendly, kind, fun, light-hearted. Most of it was banter. She wore her heart on her sleeve, and she's a sad loss. So, my condolences once more to her friends and her family, and to everyone who knew her as well. Thank you.